All right, in the spirit of celebration, I bring you this news. According to Mother Jennifer, he said there is money to be disbursed, that Apostle Ken know how he does his thing. And don't forget, we were told that December will take place on the 31st of December 2024. So we are still looking up to that date, and this piece of information is for you to get ready with the right equipment and see how we can move forward with this particular information. Subscribe to the updates and listen carefully, and bye for now.
I'm single community money day to pay. Ken cannot come out and tell you that I get money. Ken know how in the waka in waka. Apostle Ken know how in the waka in waka. Just be ready. There is some certain things he told me. By the grace of God, they will soon give you dates this week by God's mercy. They send dates for you, and all the NGO will come over to Abuja. You go jubilate. Money there to pay. Jennifer Isaac say money is there to pay. Let me tell you. Let me correct that error. There is money to be paid. Be not deceived. So all those people where they come, they talk nonsense for mouth and say that they give you notes. Pack yourself one side, go to sit down one place.
All right, thank you, Jennifer Isaac, for that a confirmation. I just had to do a replay of one of the voice notes of Jennifer Isaac in time. That's one of the time she dropped that voice note that has to do with the screening process that was done last year, and her voice when it was still very, very loud. The emphasis is precisely about the fund availability in the system. You understand? There is enough massive fund to go around. That's what I just want to bring your understanding or orientation into. And following a comprehensive screening process that involved the rigorous checks and documentation reviews last year, the NGOs have finally confirmed that the funds that is to be allocated from UAAG are genuine, and they are sufficient to also meet the disbursement requirements. So there is nothing to worry about at all. In other words, there is massive fund availability. The organization called Sanctuary Wealth Multipurpose Foundation has, without time, at different times repeatedly assured the stakeholders that the funds are ready and they are secure. So I don't know why some organs or some sections would begin to exhibit fear whether the fund can go around or there's even fund in the system to begin with. There is a security of the fund, there is fund availability, and there is an evidence that has been communicated through official channels that is highlighting the NGO's readiness to meet the financial obligations of the UAG grant program. So I want everyone to sheath their sword, especially those that are objective of the fact that there's fund in the system. All right, so there is definitely funds in the system. And another thing I want you to understand is all the beneficiaries who underwent the stringent screening process last year to ensure the eligibility of disbursement are definitely going to be a part of this process. The completion of that process actually signifies that there are no further administrative hurdles that are going to be preventing disbursement as we speak. But take it or leave it, like it was announced to us a couple days ago that disbursement is scheduled for the 31st of December 2024. That timeline still subsists. That timeline has been consistently upheld within few days now in all official communications, and that demonstrates also that the NGO's commitment to fulfilling this promise is very sacrosanct. Like we said, that 31st of December is no shifting date. It is not the disbursement date for everyone. It is the disbursement date for the Sanctuary Wealth Multipurpose Foundation. It has established, that organization itself has established a strong reputation for transparency and efficiency in over time managing grants within the country. So the leadership under the Apostle Ken Nwakama has reaffirmed his own dedication this time around to ensure that there is timely disbursement, and citing the organization's long-term vision of fostering economic empowerment, they have ensured that this time around it's not going to fail, that the disbursement of UAAG grant is not going to fail. So beneficiaries, including myself, like I often say, including myself, I'm also a stakeholder in this forum. We are all subscribers to this grant. So all beneficiaries are expected that their banking details are up to date. Well, it might look awkward to say that you are telling people that they should update their banking account. They can snap back at you and say, are you the one to remind them of how their banking system should be in operation? But you see, there are times that you feel everybody is doing the right thing. You might be doing the right thing. Somebody else does not care. All he cares about is that there should be money. And it will shock you to know that by the time the money finally enters into account, some account will reject the money. It will bounce back despite repeated information, despite repeated warnings. These are classes of people, I tell you, that exist. To you, it is a very simple ordeal, very simple thing to walk through. But to certain other persons there, that is why human beings are in diversities. God created a lot of people with different attitudinal displays, with different sectional reactions to stuffs. So while to you it is very simple, just like we have classes of people that understand certain things very easily in the class, then you have certain other persons, you have to repeat the lecture over and over again. Even sometimes you have to take them out of the class separately and teach them differently from others, and pay a teacher to come to the house and teach them separately, because they are God's creatures. They are God's creatures, but the brain that they carry needs to be sharpened very well before they can be in operation. And yet, it is still God that created them. So you don't use the same measuring rod that you use for somebody and use the same for everybody else. That is why we keep repeating this time and time again, that your banking details should be up to date to avoid delay in your own disbursement. So there's an active communication of monitoring of events right now from the NGOs for also the last minute updates or requirements, so that we don't get to run helter-skelter while the disbursement is going on. It is been at this time it is being said to us that every loose end should be tied up, because once the funds once it lands in the Sanctuary World Multipurpose Foundation account, the next thing is let it be disbursed to the NGOs, and then from there it gets to the beneficiaries. And the screening has been completed last year. It's all done and dusted. So if you are part of the screening process, your NGO is part of the screening process, there's no point you not receiving a lot by the time it is disbursed this time around. So I just want us to clarify this fact. It is a time for us to know that disbursement this time around is going to be effected, and you are going to be part of that process. So there is there's massive fund availability in the system, and this is in dollars. It's not even in it's not in fiat currency, it's not in our naira currency. And you know what it is right now. The exchange rate is around 1,600 plus to a dollar right now. So it's something that is what, and this is in billions and trillions. So rejoice, because your fund will arrive. Few days from now, you will begin to smile. Few days from now, your story is changing face. And I believe the same thing with you. There is money in the system. There is money to pay. Forget about all the sycophants who says there are no money in the system or there's nothing to pay. You understand? There is fund in the system. Just make yourself available. Do the right thing at the right time so that you don't get to miss out when it is time to get paid.